Guys, it's been a while again and we've got so much to tell you. We've been on quite a journey through Spain in the last week and a half, I think it's only been, but boy, it's been over 2,500 kilometers. We'll tell you a little bit more about it later. Right now, we're showing you the beautiful little village of Turnia in Asturias.
We just bumped into a lady here and she told us a bit of a history about the little town. Apparently there are 7 old families here, lots of really old buildings, a palace, yeah, all sorts to check out, so we're just having a little walk around.
We're not staying for very long though, and we are quite eager to tell you why, sorry, the car, quite eager to tell you why we ended up here and how our journey up until now has been. It's been quite dramatic.
Quite the roller coaster.
Yeah. If you watched our last video in which we got caught flying a drone where we weren't supposed to have flown a drone, which we can talk about a little bit later again. These things behind me here are orollos, which Alex very beautifully in Galicia in the last video pronounced heroes, which was obviously quite wrong. As you can see, they are quite different to the ones that we saw in Galicia. They were built out of stone, but here they seem to all be built from wood.
I guess these have the same as they do in Galicia, grains, potatoes, stuff that you don't want to go bad and save over the winter months. Yeah, they're really, really cool. I love the design sitting on these stilts. They're quite different from the ones in Galicia, as Malin mentioned. I think I prefer these. They're just, I don't know, they seem a lot cooler.
So like I mentioned, we only stopped here in Turnia very briefly. We slept the night here, and the reason we've come down here is that we need to, or we don't need to actually, we've decided to drive down south a little bit, not south of Spain, but about 2 hours south of the coast of Asturias where we last were. Now, we haven't showed you anything about that yet. I do want to tell you the story of our last few weeks, or our last 1.5 weeks. We were in Galicia in the last video, as you remembered. Since you saw us there in Combarro, and I think we also visited the beach after that, La Lanzada, we went on to a few more beaches, but we felt we wanted to move south again, which is across the whole country. I was in a complete emotional state. We decided to drive down to the very south of Spain, which was a journey of over 1,000 kilometers. Do you want to tell what happened then, Alex?
Yeah, it was a bit of a quick decision to drive south. We weren't really sure if it was the right thing to do, and then once we arrived there, it was not really what we wanted. I think at the time it was nice to get down to the beach, and it was warm and the water was warm, but the water was really dirty. It was really noisy. There's not really anywhere to park up with your van there without it being super busy, noisy all night, and yeah, we made the wrong decision and we drove back up.
Okay, it's time to go, but first let's continue our story about what happened when we got up to the north again after traveling 2,000 kilometers for nothing.
Yeah, we arrived at a little beach called Playa Mejota. We had a beautiful view on a nice grassy hill. And actually it's a nudist beach, but that's not really the interesting part of the story.
No, let's tell you about that in a little bit. Now, first let's enjoy the views of this drive, because we're leaving Turnia and we're heading down, I think it's 1.5 hours, maybe 2 hours.
I haven't actually looked.
Actually, we haven't looked how far it is, but we're leaving the province or the region of Asturias and we're heading into Castilla y León. which is another region of Spain. Guys, we forgot to tell you why we ended up at this park up and why we decided to leave the coast of Asturias, as we haven't spent much time there.
Because it was misty and foggy every day and there was no sun, you couldn't see anything, so I mean, why be at a beach if you can't see anything, right?
You know, you can never get the perfect weather. Down in the south it was perfect summer Mediterranean weather, but too crowded and too loud. And in the middle of Spain, in the interior of Spain, you have blazing sun and 40 degrees or more, and then you come up here and all you get is fog and rain. Not all you get, but a lot, and much lower temperature. And we decided to drive a little bit inland.
Yeah, just a couple of hours south, just to get these nice Asturian hills. I mean, you think of Asturias, well, I don't know if you've ever thought of Asturias, but if you think of Asturias and you know, you just think grassy, hilly, and that's exactly what it is.
And the weather is already much better. It was a little bit cloudy in the morning, but I think once we get a little bit further into the country, it should be a good 30 degrees. And that's what we want, right?
20, 26, 27. Yeah,
we can't get that. We either get 21, 43, or we get 30 plus.
I mean, ideal is what, 26, 27, and 17, 18 at night. If anyone can produce that for us, that'd be wonderful. So, slight accident on my way here, guys. Where to start? I don't know. The yogurt pot came just jumping out of the fridge. I stopped to get an apple out, forgot to put the little latch on the fridge, stop it opening, and it's actually the first time we've had this happen. The door came open, yogurt came out, we got yogurt on the cushion, yogurt all over the floor, down in the step as well. Vanlife Diaries.
It's not your only problem.
It's not my only problem, no. Two other things. We've got an airbag light come up on the dashboard. We think it might just be a connection problem. We're hoping it's just a connection problem. And we have a problem with this door. If it gets closed really hard, it's very difficult to open. And, well, Malin closed it really hard. And
no, I did not close it really hard.
Anyway, it does not open and we need to try and figure it out. I was going to wait to find some shade to do it, but now I'm like, maybe I need to do it now, as well as cleaning up all of this lovely.
And I'm having a slight breakdown, because not only do I already want to stop van life, surprise, surprise, now we're having all problems, and this is the first time that we're vlogging in ages, and it's all going wrong.
Actually, yogurt tastes nice. All right,
it's all going wrong, guys.
Let's clean up. Let's clean up.
So whilst Alex is cleaning up his mess in the back of the van, I'm going to tell you a little bit about that nudist beach that we were talking about earlier. So we did read some reviews on Park for Night about this park app, and people did mention that there were strange men walking around and looking at the naked people down below. But it didn't say much more than that. So we thought, okay, well, that won't really bother us because we're not going to be naked on the beach. But what we realized when we were there is that you have the main nudist beach, and then you have the other big beach that is just a normal beach. But in between those two beaches, there are tiny, small beaches, little coves. And it just happened to be a place where people go and are intimate with each other, quite roughly actually, because we happened to see it by mistake when we were looking over the edge. There are small little parts, like there's a stretch of 100 meters maybe, and there are probably about 50 little parts that you can go down, very well trod, that you can go down and look over the edge. And we thought that they were just viewpoints, but we were wrong. The 5 same men came every day that we were parked up there to look at naked people or people having a little bit of fun. And obviously the people who are having a little bit of fun, they know this, right? So a very peculiar place to be. There was even one man who came with a big camera with a massive zoom on it. I don't know. So I did a little Google on this beach, and it said that it was that type of beach, and one when I was searching this, I ended up on a web page. What's it called, Alex?
Picadores?
Picadores or picoderos or something like that. And that happened to be places where you can go and have fun in the open air. Now this web page is like an app, and there were over 12,000 marked places with reviews, some nastier than others, where you can go and have fun, and also where you can go and have fun and be watched. I don't know. Am I old-fashioned, or am I allowed to be shocked? So what do you think of that beach? Or do you think that I'm weird or old-fashioned?
I think it's great to go and watch people get it on, right? And go and take your big camera, take pictures of people. I'll be there in a flash.
What about the website site with 12,000 spots where you can do it?
There's something for everybody in this world, isn't there? And apparently, if you like watching people get it on, well, there's a website for you. If you like having a bit of cheeky in the open air, there's a website for you. There's a website for everything. Obviously, that's not necessarily good. That's lucky.
This wasn't your answer the other day.
No, I think it's disgusting. And
which part is disgusting? The peeking?
The peeking, yeah, is kind of pretty weird. But taking a camera and taking pictures of people, he was also taking pictures of people on the nudist beach, not just these little coves. So that's pretty much a decent violation of people's privacy, and it's just disgusting, isn't it? You go and taking pictures of people naked. At least I don't.
Without the permission?
Without the permission, yeah. I might go and ask him, hey, can I take a picture of you? No, it's weird. It's weird. Yeah, right, so yogurt's cleaned up. Well, there's some down there that I can't get to unless we open the door. But maybe that's not something for right this minute. Let's do that in a bit.
What about opening the door?
Opening the door? I don't want to try and do it in the sun, it's too hot. So let's do that later. Let's just try and get a bit further for now. Still got a long way to go.
Change of plans, guys. We didn't end up at that water reservoir because there were some really dark clouds hanging around the mountains there, and it looked like it was tipping it down with rain. So we decided to drive, I think, about an hour further and towards the east. Gonna make it up again later on in a couple of days from now. And the weather is actually quite good here. We're in a little village called La Vesia, and now we're gonna go for a hike. How long is it, Alex?
And it's just about 6.5 kilometers, nothing major.
Nothing major. I haven't looked at any pictures. I have no idea what's on this hike, so it will be a surprise.
So we're just going to assume that you guys know what Camino de Santiago is. If not, well, you got Google, haven't you? Anyway, we're currently walking on one old part of that. It's actually called Camino Olvidado Santiago.
The forgotten path.
Yeah. And it was used between the 9th and 12th century. Not sure if it's still a popular one to walk or not, but that's what we're currently walking on, and it goes between Bilbao and Ponferrada, where we were just a few days ago.
Now, like we said earlier, we're in a village called, what's the name?
La Vesia. Yeah, La Vesia.
It's got another name behind it, but
De Curueña or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see if this is a nice walk. So we have ran into a bit of an obstacle. Over there, there's a massive dog sleeping right across the path.
He takes up the whole path, he's so big.
Yeah, he's that big, and we have no idea if he's going to be aggressive or not. I mean, we're speaking, and how far away from him are we?
Probably 20 meters or so, 30 meters.
And he's not reacting. Question is, how will he react when we get over there? So Alex has just picked this up.
Yeah, don't wave it around too much, it's very flimsy.
It breaks, it's just for show, right? So Alex is going to go over there first.
I'm going to make some friends, right?
It's not that I'm scared of dogs, I'm just scared of dogs that I don't know, that just lay across the road in the countryside.
Well, they're probably here to protect animals, aren't they? They're sheep and stuff.
He looks like a bear.
Yeah.
He's that big.
Let's get a shot of him.
Are you not scared?
You're alright, you look a bit mangy. You're a big cute dog. He seems like a nice fella, he's pretty chill. Yeah, we should probably go past before we piss him off. Yeah, will you come past? Is that alright, mate? Hey? You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Is my wife coming?
I'm coming.
He's a good boy, eh?
Hey, you good boy. Hey, you good boy. Oh, you good boy.
It's so hard to know. Like, I have a pretty good feeling with dogs, but when they're just lying there, passive, how do you know? There's no wag of a tail or anything. Hey,
Yeah.
he's just lying there still. He doesn't give a crap about us. No.
Good.
Good, yeah. Didn't go as far as giving a few strokes. I didn't feel that confident. So we'd love to get some drone shots of this behind, but we're still kind of scarred from our last event about a month ago with the Guardia Civil in a little village called Combarro. However, they did tell me about an app called Enaire Drones, so you can see what restrictions are in Spain. And actually, I should have checked before we came out today, because this area there are no restrictions, so we could have had this beautiful view. Maybe we'll do a walk again tomorrow, because it's absolutely spectacular.
Do you think you're a bit traumatized by that?
I think so, yeah. I
situation?
need to get over it and just get on with it again.
God, there's so many flies. Guys, something that you will notice when you stay in Spain for a little bit longer and explore the countryside, sorry about the flies, is that there are so many places that are used as dumps that are not official, dump stations or whatever it's called. And it's really, really sad. Like next to me here, it's an old television, just thrown here in the nature. And you can often see this if you look over cliff edges up in the mountains, and there you might have this beautiful view, and then you just look over and there is so much rubbish. Old beds, old fridges, old televisions. Shame on you guys who do that. Stop that. Not a good thing. I don't know what to say. What's this?
So I don't know about where you guys live. Do you have this problem where people just come and dump stuff by the side of the road? I don't know if it's so common anymore in Spain. I think they kind of cracked down on it quite a lot. Anyway, as you can see, there's a wonderful view and a lovely little sofa to enjoy it.
Is there a bed as well?
It looks like there's a mattress, yeah.
No, I think it's just the bottom of the. I think it's just the bottom of the sofa.
Okay.
Anyways, it's really sad. You know, we're out on this nature walk and people have just dumped their stuff here. But who's going to pick that up? No one's going to pick that up.
Well, maybe nature will enjoy it. A little badger or wolf will come by and have a sit down and siesta.
Maybe. Let's hope so.
All right, let's carry on.
I knew there would be a bed somewhere. We just walked about 15 meters maybe, and here we have the bed. It seems like someone has emptied their house and spread it out here in nature.
If you're doing van life in Spain, or I guess in any country really, there is a tendency for Google Maps to try to send you on these tiny little roads through villages, and this little miniature ancient bridge, looks Roman to be honest, was one of the routes recommended.
When we came here. So make sure when you put in your destination on Google Maps to have a little look on the satellite view or go on street view if there is any, to make sure that it's not taking you on any of these small roads. And when you're doing van life, like we're a big vehicle, we're not a small van, we're 7 meters nearly long.
So far it's been okay, but we've had a few, actually earlier today arriving where we're parked now, I went the wrong way a few times and ended up in some very narrow little alleyways.
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
Well, because I'm such a skillful driver, it was fine. So
I saw something very interesting down here. There are some skulls on the people's wall there in front of their house.
Oh, I'm here, look, just right here on the fence.
Yes, right here. That's quite cool. Let's have a look. I took the liberty of picking this up from the floor. It's fallen off the fence where they are sitting. There are also some skulls on the wall in front of that house behind there. We have no idea what this is about. We're not going to find out because we're not going to go and knock on the door. But made from some kind of Actually, I don't know what it's made from. Very peculiar.
Hold it up for me, guys. Put it in front. Right, closer, closer. Here we go. Yeah, give it a little turn. Yeah, lovely. There you go.
Interesting.
Hey guys, I'm just jumping on to end this video. It's been a couple of weeks and well, videos need ends and this is it. So the last few weeks we've been pretty busy trying to work out what we're going to be doing in the next few months, and we've finally come up with a plan. But it's a little bit sad, but at the same time also quite exciting, and you'll see that in an upcoming video at some point soon. So as always, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, as well as dropping us a little comment below, and we will see you in the next one. So thanks for watching as always. See ya!